Because we are on the side. Looks like it's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Looks like they're running prasadam somewhere. And the switch on. Oh, even these young ones here. Okay. You can read from A honoring prasadam up to number 8 on your own and ask me questions. Come on, read. It's page 27, the introduction paragraph, honoring prasadam, and then numbers 1 to 8. Read and ask me questions. So we tell what to do. What is together now? Where's the microphone? Pass it along as though he had his hand up. Before the second last row.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. What page are we on?
Yeah, page 27.
Page 27.
Yes.
What number you want to speak about?
6 and 7.
Read 6 and 7 for us.
Do not talk while honoring prasadam. Besides glorifying Krishna is prasadam. Then number 7, do not throw prasadam. Never touch prasadam with your feet. Yes. Now my question is, what can we do? Because these rules are blatantly violated time and time again, especially throwing prasadam. What can be done on this?
See, you broke a norm. You said this and this thing is violated time and time and again. So in the break somebody is going to ask you, where is that violated? Rephrase your question. Use the word what if.
Okay, what if the norm number 7 is blatantly violated time and time again? What can be done?
He's asking the same thing. And he just, can you repeat what I am repeating? And he said, say the word what if.
What if
I throw prasadam.
I throw prasadam?
That's the question, right?
Yes, that's the question.
What if I repeatedly throw prasadam? Say it.
What if I repeatedly throw prasadam?
Now you will be speaking in the first person, that is you.
Yes.
There is not somebody down there.
Yes.
Right? So my question is, why would you throw prasadam? And where do you throw it? Can you answer? in the role play that as if you're doing it.
Okay, I personally don't throw prasadam.
No, in the role play. It's in the drama, you are the drama.
Yes.
You are acting this part.
Yes.
Why do you throw prasad?
Because I took more than I could take. The second one is
Where did you throw it?
in the dustbin.
The dustbin.
Yes.
Okay. So, are you a regular devotee or are you like a guest when you do that?
Regular devotee.
So, we have a thing called a sacred disposal. Sacred?
Disposal.
Yeah. So in every temple that we have, like the flower garlands, you know the flower garlands on the altar? They're put in a particular packaging and they take it to our Krishna Balaram farm. You getting it?
Yes.
So if somebody is not throwing the prasadam, but if the management has like a sort of another container where the leftover prasadam on the plate is put in. Yes?
Put in.
Put in. Yes. So that's not throwing the prasadam. So they take that prasadam, which is already touched by somebody who was eating from the plate. You understand?
Yes.
In a separate container, and they can take it and put it in the field for the other species of life to partake of, or it will become part of Bhumi and Mother Earth again. Spread it out. You getting it?
Yes.
Alternatively, you can bury it and it becomes nice soil. You getting it? And people can go through, grow on it. So I'm not giving you, I'm not explaining to you what the problem is. That we already know from your question. So I'm giving you the solution. Is that okay?
That is come up by Maharaj.
Yeah. So when I used to be president in large temples, if somebody comes with me with a problem, I'll say, can you give me a solution? Don't complain. Don't complain. You say how you want to help to improve it. And if you don't know how to improve it and you're complaining, and when I give you the solution, then you execute it. You getting it?
I did.
Yeah. So don't see what's not proper. You work to make it proper. Okay? And don't give the excuse, but I need money to buy some container for the sacred disposal. And you write on that container, sacred disposal. Right? Go look for the money and buy some nice containers, because this is leftover prasadam or leftover prasadam flower garlands. You getting it? Anything. Yeah. And then you write it down and then you personally take it and you say, look, where is plate? Because I leave all the plates in one place and somebody else washes, right? Sometimes, as I say. I'm just giving you an example, right? So the person who washing the plates, he can take all the leftover prasadam and put it in the sacred thing. And then you go for it. Are you ready? Can I come and pick it up? And you take it and you just walk down the street and you spread it into some garden or near some trees. Immediately the birds will wait for you all the time. If you do it the first time, they're waiting. What's your name again? I know you take care of Tulsi. We've spoken at first. Your name again?
Chaitanya Swarup, yes.
Chaitanya Swarup, okay. So Chaitanya Swarup, if you can do that service, would be nice. You can do that service, would be nice. You set the example. From when?
From next week.
When you go back to your place of service. You stay in Nairobi or you stay somewhere else?
I stay in Nairobi.
So did you do it in Nairobi from tomorrow?
Yeah.
And tomorrow is the beginning of next week. Sunday is the last day. If Sunday is the first day, then it's the next Sunday. No, tomorrow. Okay? You go to the administration, the man say you want to do this, and nobody will say no if you do that, because you're improving the situation by your action, not just by your words. That is Sadacara. Achar means to behave and act. Sada means always. Is that okay?
That's okay, Maharaj.
If you ask any devotee, can you get me 2 nice containers with a nice handle and a lid, and a lid, and please write on it, sacred disposal and why you're using it. Then they'll buy it for you. But it must be a little strong because sometimes it gets a little heavy with the leftovers. And if you don't want to distribute it to the lower layer entities like birds and worms will come, or even ants, 1 grain of an ant. We take birth in the next life as human being. Okay? Then you can bury it in the ground and it becomes natural fertilizer. And Bhumi will be very happy on the back. Yes, Prabhu. What number?
Number 2.
Read.
Ideally, one should not be
Yeah, Prabhu. Hold the microphone close.
Ideally, one should not eat food that is cooked by devotees.
You're changing the philosophy. Go slowly, it's okay. What's your name?
Frank.
Let's be frank. Go ahead.
Ideally, one should eat food that is A. Cooked by devotees, B. Offered to the Lord by devotees, and C. Served by devotees.
So what is ideally? What's your question?
So my question is, what if I eat food that is not cooked by devotees or offered to the Lord by devotees or served by devotees?
Obviously, food that is not cooked by devotees is not offerable and neither will it be served by devotees. So the first one is most important.
What if I eat food that is not cooked by the devotees?
It's circumstantial. It is?
Circumstantial.
Yeah. So give me an example. Then I can respond under the circumstances. Like what if you're the only devotee member of the family, but you have to eat your mama's cooking, right? You understand? That is circumstantial. That is?
Circumstantial.
Yeah. If you don't eat your mama's cooking, then your mama will think, I brought him from birth, and now he's rejecting me as a mother? Don't do that. Still continue to eat your mama's cooking, but you tell her you like to eat vegetarian foodstuffs, because your mama will not give you poison. Will not give you poison. She's still your mama. But you can tell her, I'm slowly changing my eating habits like this. Because you have no alternative, but you have to eat, right? And at home. And then slowly you can take a cooking lessons, from devotees. And you tell Mama, today I will cook. Are you able to do that?
No. My mom likes it when she cooks.
That's fine. But now your mom is getting older and you're a young adult and you want to serve Mama in the kitchen. Which Mama will say no?
My mama.
No, nothing. Mama will say yes, okay, you cook once a week. And when you cook, you can offer it, right? And she doesn't know. Use the simple offering, quietly, murmur the praise under your tongue, all that. You understand? It becomes, and and prasad is entering the home. See? So Mama will say, I cooked this potato sabji for you for so many years. How come you cook the same potato? What is the sabji? No, what?
Curry.
Cook the same potato curry. Why is tasting better? What is secret? Mama, I'm cooking according to how you taught me or how I'm learning. She laughs, then you can introduce. No, Mama, I have some friends and they're vegetarians and they say if you chant this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, then the food will taste better. So really? Yeah. And what does it mean? It means that we say grace to God, you know, for giving us this food. But I've learned this mantra, it's in a Sanskrit language. That's how you introduce it. Oh, then Mama will be very pleased. My son is very God-fearing. He's no more doing all these other things. Sometimes when he comes home and he doesn't recognize that I'm his Mama, he's so intoxicated. But now he's sober. And he wants to cook. Whoever heard a son cooking for the mother? That's unique, right? And she'll tell the whole neighborhood, my son, he cooks for me. Can you, your son, don't do that? I'm proud of my son. You know what to do. Is that okay? Yes. It's circumstantial. This is one example. There may be other circumstances also. For example, the father is a devotee, but the mother is not a devotee. And they're not vegetarians. If the father refuses the cooking of the mother, it will affect the whole family and children, right? Because he's acting no more as father. He should still accept it until gradually he changes the diet himself, of his diet. He doesn't change their diet. And you must tell them, you're cooking vegetables for me now, you cook in a separate pot. Because I'm restricted to that. She was like, well, it's better for my health. And I'm going for some yoga and meditation lessons. And you can see also from my medical reports, my health is getting better. Meanwhile, she doesn't know, he's a devotee. So slowly she learns, maybe I should do that too. And that's how you do it. It's a very soft and sensitive approach that you're becoming a better father, a better mother, a better son. Never reject your family, even if they're not devotees. Unless, they are really extreme, Oh, you're becoming vegetarian, we'll show you. So your elder brothers and your uncles, the two will hold your two hands, two will hold your two legs and stamp it down, one will put your head back and say, open your mouth, and they shout the non-veg. Nobody does like that, right? That means you're living with life. People are worse than animals, then it's a little different. You understand? That's not so extreme, right? If it's extreme like that, then you really have to get away because you're not living with human beings. It's something else. We're not talking about those extreme cases. Exceptional ones. Yes, microphone here to Bhagavata Swami Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Number one.
Tell us.
One should only eat Krishna prasada.
The word is only.
Yeah.
How about the Fanta? He's leaving from tomorrow. Children are always honest. Adults will say, I'm leaving from tomorrow, they won't follow. He'll follow. Make sure the others know home. And make sure you take Mama to the market and buy those oranges. the lemon jelly, the juice. Health will become better. Again, one should only honor Krishna Prasada from Brian. It's circumstantial, it is. Like I gave an example to him. Yeah. Sometimes you're in a situation where you can't really do it. And you go with the flow of that. And then you gradually try to change it. You see, we should learn to influence positively with sensitivity and a soft approach. You know, who you're living with. You understand? But it's much easier if you're not married. If you're not married. Because if you're an adult and you're not married, you can say, I'm going to study in the city and maybe not at home. It's easier, right? Like how we have an ashram situation for students here. It's much easier. See? You getting it? So what's your actual question? In which circumstance are you not able to do it? Give me the one example of that circumstance. Come on. See, if you go to a shop or a market or supermarket to buy something, and you know that's already prepared by non-devotees and not offerable to Krishna, then with your own decision you don't buy that. See? Unless you attach to eating that biscuit. What's the name of the biscuit? Right? You don't like biscuits. What do you like from the shop? Sweets? Chocolate. Chips, cinnamon chips in the packet.
Am I right to be sincere? The only thing I like is called Ramayana.
Tell him the microphone.
Wow. Sardine. Man, sardine.
Smoked fish, which is popular.
What?
Smoked fish, sardines.
Oh, the non-veg?
Yeah.
No. You're still doing it?
When I'm back at home, I still do it when I'm back at home.
Yeah, because you may be forced, right? Because there's no vegetarian foodstuffs there.
Yes.
Then you take vegetables with you home. And Mama, what happened? No, I'm trying to be vegetarian for some time and it's having a good effect on my studies. You're a student?
No.
You're working?
Yes.
Yeah. I was having poor health and stomach pains, but now the vegetarian food stuff is helping. See, you cannot change Mama, right?
Yes.
Who should change?
Me.
You. And you're not a baby, right?
I'm not a baby.
You're not a baby, you're an adult.
Exactly.
So it's much easier. Don't make an excuse that I'm forced to take that non-veg. No, you are an adult.
So Maharaj, for how long will I keep on doing this? Like going with the vegetable back at home, doing all this? How long should I do it? It's now like it.
Until your mother gets the idea that you want to be a vegetarian, she'll get it. But she's not losing you as a son. You're becoming a better son. You must have, Mama, I used to get angry with you so much, right? Watch me now. She'll see that you're adopting higher qualities in your life. You're exhibiting better culture in your life. Any mama will be proud. Unless she doesn't fit the description of mother. She's something else. That's not true also of mothers.
So the first point should be
Yes, one should only honor Krishna Prasad, but when you go home, You're taking the vegetables and your mother can cook it, but you can silently offer it under your tongue, under the circumstances. Radha and Krishna know that. You're trying your best under the circumstances to be honoring some Krishna Prasad.
But that means that we are breaking...
You're not breaking it, it's circumstantial. It won't be for long. When you one day have your own family, you're in charge.
So I can keep on doing it until the day I have my family or do, then I'll change from there.
Yes, they know you are changing, but you're not trying to change them.
Yes.
Got it? Yeah. Generally, when the son becomes a devotee, eventually, the mother follows and she also becomes a devotee. That has happened all over the world, in many circumstances. Because she's very attached to the son. So you exploit that attachment and say, Mama, I'm still your son, but can you please me this way? Good?
Number 8.
Read.
Wash hands, feet and mouth before and after eating. At least wash your hands. In the Western countries, it may be difficult to wash your feet. But when in India, you should wash both your hands and feet before and after taking prasad.
Yeah, so long as that facility is available. You know? And then you take advantage of the facility. Because in India, when you wash your feet, they have a place where you can wipe your feet like a mat, and you can walk and put your socks again.
So what's the... Okay, I understand for the hands and the mouth, what's the significance of the feet?
On the feet.
Yeah.
Before going in. Prasadam is sacred. Is?
Sacred.
Yeah. So when you wash your feet, you're going with the clean feet into the dining hall. Right? And why you wash your feet after that again? Because you may have inadvertently, unknowingly trampled something in the prasadam, or it could be even somebody drops some prasad, so you wash your feet. But you didn't purposely trample. We okay? Yeah. So when you walk into a prasadam hall and you honor prasad, so after prasadam, you sort of like, not unclean, but you sort of end prasad, so you have to clean up again, including the feet. That is if the facility is available. So normally what I do when I go to my room, I do that. See? May not be available where you are. But it's not like an offense if you don't do it. See? It's just to keep cleanliness. Good. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Now, on that same page, on page 27 at the bottom, is not there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So it's in your books also, so let's look at your books while it comes on. Page 27 at the bottom, honoring food, and there's a question mark. Babies. Where's the baby? Bring her here. Bring the girl. Bring the baby here. Lali, what's your name? Girl or boy? Lali, come. Who's the mother? Who's mama? Who's the mama? What's her name? Oh, what do you want now? Yeah, better go. Yeah. For you, eh? Only for you. That has a strength. We will make it shorter so that flowers realistically inclined and sahajas, or so-called Vaishnavas who take everything very casually, about Vishayas or materialists. Eating food offered by them causes contamination, and as a result of such contamination, even a serious devotee becomes like a materialistic man. Because what you put in the tongue goes into the stomach, and the stomach, by its enzymes, breaks it down and gives energy to the whole body. But what you put in your tongue is the consciousness of the one who cooked it and offered it. So if they're not devotees and they cook and offer it, you take their nature. If you eat something like that and you wonder, I don't really scream at my wife normally. But then when I came home this evening, I don't know what happened to me. But you don't know that 4 hours ago you had a board meeting with the other directors of the business, and you ate with them in, what's the cafe's name? An art cafe. And then you came home and you don't see your wife in a very pleasant way and you scream at her. And she did nothing. You wonder where it came from. Eating in art cafe. It affects. We know that if you eat with a spoon, it's a little different than eating with your own hands. When you eat with your hands, with your fingers, the food of prasadam tastes better, right? Because your hands have consciousness. Now you put something in between a metal, you taste in the metal. But even more feeling is when your mama takes with her hand and feeds you. It's more effective. It even tastes more better. You see that even when he's a grown-up son, he has children, he's a father, and the mother will say, come better, come. He takes it from my hand. And then his son is watching, huh? My mother doesn't do that. The old lady does it to the elder son who's a father in front of the children. Takes him, she misses feeding him. Consciousness through the hand enters through the food into the mouth. But when you eat in a restaurant or some cafe, you don't know who cooked it and you don't know what consciousness is going in, and suddenly you behave in an erratic and funny and silly way coming from that food. Therefore, even a serious devotee becomes like a materialistic man. Especially grains, beans and dal. Grains means bread also. Okay, page 28. Serving prasad. You can read it. Offer it to our Lila, Mama. Let's stand for these nice children. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Did you bring some prasad? Yes. They can share, right? Okay, good. They can eat right here, that's fine. No problem. So these mothers have sacrificed being with the children for so many hours in the last 2 days, right? For this. We appreciate your sacrifices, mothers, for coming to Krishna. And your parents sacrificed you and brought you here. Right? Good, eh? Because you're making everyone learn by teaching us with your nice points. Right? Wait till I ask you how many jump around you doing daily. Then we'll do for next visit, you'll be grown up. Okay, on page number 28, you can read about serving prasadam and ask me questions. Come on. Give you a few minutes to read. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Of course, in different temples they serve prasadam differently, like a buffet style or something. But this is the most appropriate way to do it. So they do not find fault with the administration and management if they don't do it this way where everyone is sitting and they are served. And the reason is that people are eager to honor prasadam, but they may not be eager to serve prasadam, so they may not have enough devotee resources to serve. That's one. But if ideally you can follow this, would be better. They should either sit on the floor and eat nicely, or if somebody is elderly or somebody is sick, they can have tables for them with chairs and go to serve them. See? And like that you can eat sumptuously, and so forth. So don't find fault. I don't want that type of question coming up. Okay, anyone has a question in general other than that? For serving prasadam. Yes, microphone? Yes, yes.
Number 6.
this is according to how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to accept prasadam, and also Srila Prabhupada. Because that is called the Gaudiya Vaishnava culture. We are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. However, Prabhu, what's your name?
Joseph.
Joseph.
Yes.
You like pizza?
Yes.
What's your other favorite prasad?
Paneer.
Paneer.
Yes.
Nice. And what's that leaf they eat? Sukuma. You like sukuma too?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. That you can cook. Everything. Paneer. You know, Krishna likes any cuisine. It all originates from him. Even pizza. Lasagna also. This is just how you serve it. You know, in other words, if there's some preparation that looks like rice and chapatis, that should always be available. Then you serve from the bitter and bitter sour preparations. You getting it? Then the fried preparations, and then the sweet items come in the end. Whatever the type of menu it is, it could be Chinese menu, it could be African, whatever African culture menu. Give some examples. Gide. Rideri. Gideri. What is it? Vegetables?
Maize and beans.
Maize and beans.
Corn. Oh, like that you can do all that. So you can fit it in, whether that's a bitter, sour, sweet preparation, you know, like that. So that's the idea. You serve it in that order. Anyone else? Questions on? Oh, you're just waiting to honor prasadam, so therefore there's no questions. Yes? Get this right. Riyansh. Got it.
Yes, my question is on number 5.
It's a really nice color you have.
Thank you.
Where you got that?
India.
India. And you say it's like the NYC in India. New York City. In India. Oh, she was.
Number 5.
Read.
Place salt and lemon on each plate before those to be served are seated. Now, a green sheet may also be offered. Always serve water first. So, like, what if a person doesn't like lemon or salt?
No, it's on the side. It's on the
Side.
They will not touch it. It's not on the main plate. You getting it? Yeah. It's already offered and it's on the side. And if they don't take it, then it's in this sacred disposable. Is that okay? Yeah, but that is in a general mass way. But if you're having a few devotees who prasad, you can ask them, do you like some chili? You know, like that, then you can give. But in the general mass feeding, they have to do that because they save time to go around asking. Like you go to Mayapur or Vrindavan, you know, there's thousands of devotees sitting. You put it there already, and you'll find a lot of them don't even touch it. You getting it? Because you save time, because you're serving thousands of people. But if somebody is coming to your home for prasad, you can ask. You can offer it, and if they don't take it, it's still good to eat later. And these are not cooked items. They are not cooked. They can stay. Nice. Okay. 2 more for this part. Just 2 more. We need to move along.
So my number 1.
Read.
Everyone should be invited to sit and prasadam to be served by qualified devotees. Who are these qualified devotees?
And read number 2.
Those who are serving should be clean, peaceful and satisfied.
Read further.
They should eat before serving if necessary. They should try not to speak while serving.
That's the qualification.
But we are all unfit.
We are
Unfit.
or what? Whose ways? You say I am unfit. Say.
I am unfit
Then
for
you
serving.
eat. Then you eat. Are you unfit to eat also? Do we train people to eat? Next. Yes. Now make your question clear. Don't give us a story.
Question goes on number 7.
Number?
7.
Read.
Go around serving seconds until everyone is satisfied. Don't be stingy. Don't hold anything back because you want to take it later. Prashad is meant for distribution.
So,
So I was asking, to be a stingy is wrong? To be a stingy? Or maybe when serving,
I can't hear his accent is chewing the words. What is asking?
Being stingy.
Being stingy.
yeah.
Yeah, when you're serving the paneer sabji and it's getting finished, oh, I didn't eat yet, can we hide some? You understand? So better, number 2, read number 2.
Those who are serving should be very clean, peaceful, and satisfied.
Yes, then?
They should eat before serving if necessary.
Yes, so that's necessary for you. Before you serve, you should eat, otherwise the paneer sabji will be finished. Next, last question on this one. I need to move along. Because I'm feeling
But-
hungry.
My question has been answered.
Say, last
It's
one.
been answered.
Say, answer, right?
Yeah.
Give the microphone to the back. Michael, you like paneer? Next time when the paneer saraj is being served and you didn't eat, don't serve. Go and eat first. Yes, Prabhu?
So, Your Holiness, is it in order for Vaishnavas...
Wait. Once you said your grace, what's next?
Your Highness.
Is it his divine grace?
Yes, your divine grace.
No.
No.
I would advise you, and my humble request, just say Maharaj. Say,
Maharaj.
and don't say Guru Maharaj. Say,
Maharaj.
I'm not your Guru, I'm your servant. What's your question?
Is it in order for Vaishnavas to carry some prasad over
You mean carry from where?
from the center which is being offered?
No, you only do that until everyone else is served and satisfied. If there's something left over, then you go to the management devotee who's managing the prasadam server, and you can humbly ask, is there some prasadam left over? Is there some prasadam? First you ask that question, and he may say no, but you can see there's prasadam left over, because he's taking it home. He's in charge. And don't argue with him. See? You can say no, but don't say that. If he says no, then he says, look, but I need some prasadam to take for my brother who's sick in hospital. He's not a devotee, but if I feed him this, I know it will have good effect. Whether he's Buddhas or not, he'll have better birth. He'll give you. Give a nice reason to take prasadam. Not for overeating, not for? Give a nice reason. And even if you tell like a white lie, sometimes it works. Break a lesson for a head, because you have become a prasadam addict. It's a good addiction. Don't quote me to the person who's in charge of prasadam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You can switch off. Session 11, devotional friendship. Friends. Sometimes a person simply accepts the fact that his friend will slap his face, but there is no question of inferiority in such an action. When friendship and mutual pleasure are the basis of the relationship, there is no question of insult or inferiority. What does this mean? On the spiritual platform, if two persons are very closely related to each other and they are affectionate to each other, then you can be as you are inside, as you are outside. Because you don't hide your feelings. See? But if you're not close to someone, you may hide your feelings and you may just be polite externally. You getting it? Which is better? Microphone, she's speaking to herself. Carolyn. Which is better?
The first option, as you are inside. So
Yes. The first option. Why?
There's no pretense.
There's no pretense. You are as you are, and so forth. Very good. So devotee or a sadhu or a sadhvi, what is inside, the same outside. That's the best relationship. And in that relationship, all sorts of emotions, including fights and disagreements, will happen, but you will not give up the relationship. Because it's somebody that you can shout at, somebody that you can scream at. Do you have such a friend or a family member? You won't do it in public, but you are free to speak to them as you feel. If you're angry, they know you're angry because you're screaming. So there are no offenses committed amongst genuine friends. Even if it appears that they're screaming at each other. Srila Prabhupada gives the example in India. It's quite a sight actually. It's a nice sight. You'll see two goats. You know goats? And they have these horns. And they come. They were about to attack each other. See? And you go in between. What happens? They'll turn around and they'll run on you. In other words, they're telling you these goats, why are you interfering with our rasa to fight? Get out! You're not allowed first. So therefore there's no offense amongst friends, amongst even family members, if they are close and attached to each other as well-wishers. So write down even in code form if you want, one such person you have in your life. And if you don't have one such person, then you can let the steam off. Don't hold it inside. Speak to somebody, even if it's screaming. Don't take your head and bang it against the wall. Take your head and bang it against their shoulder, the other person. But male to male, female to female. So if you're female body, write the name of a female. If you're male body, write the name of a male. Then you can openly say that I know I'm calling you at 1 o'clock in the morning and I know your phone will be on and you answered it. Why are you telling me, why are you disturbing me at 1 o'clock in the morning? Can you come over to my home right now? I am really in anxiety. Okay, I'll be there. You have someone like that? You'll go through any inconvenience to help a friend, even if they disturb your peaceful sleep. Do you have someone like that? Or maybe more than one? Especially if you're in the Grihastha ashram, if you're in family life, you need that. Usually when brahmacharis who are genuine and when sannyasis who have some internal realization, they don't really need that so much because they're self-satisfied. If you don't have someone and you can't write a name down, you consider a potential name and work towards that relationship. We good?
Yeah.
Why are you peeping in his book? Because he didn't write your name. You're lucky he didn't write your name. He will call you at 1 o'clock morning. Or to chant, that is good. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Okay. Now, we deeply appreciate the devotees who were in the organizing team. And the organizing team mainly comprised of Sri Gauranga Prabhu, Govinda Prem Prabhu, as well as Pranahari Prabhu. And then let's chant for them. They worked hard behind the scenes to put this whole course together for them. Loudly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And with the prasadam for you all, one devotee especially had to adjust a lot. His name is Veda Tattva Prabhu, so he was behind, cooking extra prasadam. So let's chant for Veda Tattva Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the devotee were made available at no cost. These nice handbooks with the pens that came along with it. His name is Priya Prabhu. Let's thank him for sponsoring this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And there will be a certificate issued to those who came for so many percentage and more of the time of the number of hours. And that will be analyzed by Govinda Prem Prabhu and Sri Gauranga, and that will be given to you in due course, next few days of the week, for you successfully attending the course for maybe 70% of the number of hours or so. Okay? And we need a team because we cleaned this place to start the course. We need a team to wind up everything. That means after you honor your lunch prasad, not before. Okay? So who's heading up the team to nicely ensure everything is, this stage is gone there, this chair is gone to the office, and everything is swept nicely. Those white chairs belong, you know what's happening, right? So after prasadam, see Pranahari, to delegate what to be done here. And there's one devotee from this building, Emmanuel. Where is he? Where's Emmanuel? Looks like he entered the Bible. We have to take him out of the Bible. He entered the Bible. He's not here. So who's in his stead? Or who's going to represent him here? What's your name? You had your hand up again. Andrew, can you do that? Would you have time after prasadam to know what's happening in this building? Everything neat and clean and so on. Yeah. So we also need, you could say, help to take these desks somewhere, right? Like each desk one can carry or something later on. So we need a team of devotees after the prasadam to take these desks to a storeroom and things like that. So after prasadam, headed up by Andrew, who can come? Raise your hand, Andrew. Make a mental note of all this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 devotees will help. Right? Under his supervision. 10 devotees will help. Oh, we just spoke about you. What did we say about Sri Gauranga? Anyone can tell us? Sharon, tell us, what did we say? Microphone. Sri Gauranga Prabhu and his brother, Prahlad Priya.
His brother sponsored the booklets for free. And he's part of the main organizers.
The organizing team.
Yes.
Yes, he did the registration and so many other things.
Yes.
Yeah. He was overwhelmed with so many people registered. We thought only 35, 40. It doubled. More than doubled. Yeah. So let's chant for Sri Gauranga Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We good? And also those devotees who kindly sponsored the bottles of water for today. We still have water left over. Give it to Govinda Prem. Or give it to Sita. She can give it. They sponsored some water for today. Let's chant for the Rasamam Apsukuntaya. I am the taste of water, Krishna says. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, Arihan, how are you? Come here. Give me the microphone. Come to the front. He's a leader type, you know. A leader is a good listener. A leader is a good listener. So he has to listen to what these boys have to tell him. Right? You'll speak to him when you play. So, can you describe in one word your experience in the course? Is it like purifying? Is it nice? Is it wonderful? Is it mind-blowing? Or what? What's your word?
Perfect.
Perfect. What was perfect?
Everything.
Give me 2 things that were perfect in everything. Hold it close.
The people who came ahead and the people who did the drama.
Oh, you loved the drama. And you were in the drama.
It was fun and interactive one.
A lot of interactive.
Yes.
Nice. So you didn't sleep in the class. Nice. Let's chant for him. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Caroline. Take the microphone. One word of your experience in the class.
Eye-opening.
Your eyes were closed? You've got to explain more because we don't understand what it is. I don't understand. What is eye-opening? Your internal eye. Tell us.
Intelligence. I think I got clarity on a lot of things. What I think, I actually got clarity.
On which one? What's outstanding? 3 things. Tell us. Yes.
So the first one was the result of chanting is more chanting.
Nice.
And the second thing was the more we grow spiritually, we consider ourselves lower than others so that we uplift them.
Good.
And the last one, which was mind-blowing for me, was the one
When you blew your mind, that's good, the mind will listen.
Yes, the one on preaching, where I lost my words, but my...
You want to go to your notes? You want to see your notes?
Yes.
Here, go. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go ahead, tell us.
So what he said was that the principal consciousness in Srila Prabhupada's heart, which I took to understand is should also be our goal, is to become a pure missionary and always ask yourself the question.
Become a missionary to preach.
A pure missionary, yes. And ask yourself, how can I enjoy with the supreme enjoyer when others are suffering? So to summarize it, I know we always say chant and be happy. And my own would be chant, preach and be happy.
Nice. Chant, preach and be happy. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Judge. To the front. Michael. Michael, right? Got it, right. Okay, put the video on here. Yes. One word.
Enlightening.
What were you enlightened about?
I was enlightened, I can say one of the challenges with relationships that we have, especially as we do things, is how to manage conflict.
How to manage?
Conflict.
Conflict. Okay.
Yes. How to also forgive.
How to?
Forgive.
Or how to forgive others.
Yes, how to forgive others. How to forgive others. And especially because it affects our relationship with Krishna and being able to chant.
Nice. The end result is to chant and hear.
Yes.
Clear the way for that.
Yes.
But don't clear the devotee away.
Yes. And the perspective of what it means to be a pure devotee, that with the analogy that you gave about the mangoes, that we're there to push others up, and that the more we chant, the riper we get together. So association is very important to create that association amongst each other. Yes.
Nice. Sharon? Let's chant for Michael.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
One word.
Joyful.
Joyful.
Yes.
You're always joyful. You don't need to be joyful. You're naturally that. Go ahead.
I laughed a lot during the session.
You laughed a lot. That means you were happy.
Yes.
But you didn't laugh to mock others, you laughed because you were happy.
Yes. Yes. I learned in a happy way. The lessons are presented in a very easy and happy, joyful way. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let's chant for
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Bhakti Lata, come. One word.
Interesting.
Interesting.
The main point I got from there was we can rectify the material sins in Krishna consciousness by chanting, but we can't rectify offense to Vaishnavas by chanting. We need to beg forgiveness.
You must beg forgiveness. Yes. Nice. Let's chant for her.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare. And finally, Rupa Nuga Prabhu. Please come. Where's the glove? Come through. Come this way. In between. What's that one word from the experience of the Course?
To enlighten me.
Oh, you're borrowing that word.
Okay. Mind blowing, it has also been said.
Yes, you also.
It is also entertaining.
Entertaining?
Yeah, the dramas, it reads.
Yeah. Show us how it was entertaining. Show us.
The way Brian was doing it, at least he was natural. Also, we can remember a lot from him and from the others because of the dramas. I think there's something to remember. And one thing that I carried is when you feel as if you are not fit, it will be so easy to do more than when you are fit. You can do less and boring.
Yes, when you're qualified, you do less.
Yeah.
When you're unqualified,
you do more.
When you're unfit,
you are unfit, you do even more.
Yeah, when you're fit,
you do less.
Nice. I like the way he did it with his hands. Thank you very much. Let's chant for him.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And now, and more?
No. Thank you.
Some words of wisdom from Sri Gauranga Prabhu.
Mine?
From Sri Gauranga.
I asked you. I thank you.
Oh, you don't leave the mic. Yes.
Hare Krishna. So first of all, I'd like to thank His Holiness Bhakti Brhat Bhagavata Maharaj. Actually, many of you may not know this, but Maharaj extended his ticket to do this course today for the last 3 days. He was to leave on the 24th. I believe that was a Friday. So he was to leave on the 24th, but he extended just to do this course. And this is His mercy on all of us. And I really hope that all of you take these teachings out of the classroom and apply them in your own lives. And I think that will be the best dakshina for Maharaj, to see that what he's taught is being applied in personal lives and in a practical manner. So Maharaj has been teaching and instructing, guiding devotees all over the world. We're very, very fortunate to have him here to give that same instructions, guidance and teachings to all of us here. It's a very rare opportunity. We don't get a lot of traveling devotees here. So Maharaj's unlimited mercy on all of us. And I pray that Maharaj can bless all of us so that we can also apply these teachings with the strength of his blessings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Be blessed. Okay, so prasadam is ready to be served, right? Good? Yeah. So before prasadam is served, somebody needs to help you with these other things for about 10 minutes. And he's from the Bible. Andrew. But Emmanuel is not yet ready. So then after you take prasad first with your team, and then you come back with all these desks and chairs and so forth. So somebody needs to tell you where to put things, and that will be you, right? With the pranahari group here. Yeah. Is that okay? So make sure we leave everything in a nice, neat manner as we found it when we came first. Good. So you take to the prasadam place, you say it there at prasadam hall, right? Yeah. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Kori Vaishnava Vranda ki Jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki Jai. ISKCON Nairobi Yatra ki Jai. Adayo Premanande Bhagavad Lunch Prasadam ki Jai.
His Holiness Bhakti Brhat Bhagavata Maharaj ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Vancha Kalpataru.